This is Stormwarden coming at you today with another video update, and today we're going to talk about the excessive rainfall risk for the Louisiana coast and towards Mississippi and far eastern Texas coast. And then we're going to give you a little bit of an update of the tropics as well, and we're going to do all that in today's video. If you've been liking my weather content, guys, please subscribe. I am a student meteorologist, and as I'm on this journey of learning meteorology and learning new things about the weather every single day, I want to take you guys on this journey with me, and I want to give you guys some honest meteorology. So if you've been liking my content, please subscribe. And without further ado, we're going to get to this video. I'm not going to talk your head off about me. So here's the radar, and right now we have some rainfall over the Louisiana coast. Particularly from southern Louisiana down towards the southeast coast, and then we got some rainfall in far eastern Texas as well. So all this will continue for the next few days, giving us that excessive rainfall risk. Can't talk. And this will promote some flooding risks as well, especially on the coast where we've been battered with rain for the last few days, and this will continue. Especially as you have that disturbance right off the coast, this will only further rainfall that threat. And then there's also the potential that you guys get a tropical storm in here, which could bring added threat of gusty winds if you can get some storm to form with that area of disturbance down the Caribbean. If these two areas can form, we might get a tropical storm 9. And there's been some models that have been very consistent in showing that, and I'm starting to favor it. So we'll see what happens. So showing you that excessive rainfall risk. Here we go. We have a moderate risk right over the Louisiana coast, and you know what, guys? I'm actually gonna get this closer for you all, just so you know what cities and towns this is for. So we look down towards well, I guess it won't let me. Either way, you saw that it was a moderate risk down in these areas, and this is just a close look at the rainfall at the total QPF, which just accumulated precipitation or whatever. So obviously where you see the higher totals, this is where a moderate risk lies. And down towards Houma, Louisiana, hopefully I pronounced that correctly for you folks down there. And you got New Orleans at and some of these totals are definitely excessive. You get this in a small period of time, you could certainly have some flash flood warnings, especially down here towards the southeast part of Louisiana. So if I had to draw an area with the highest rainfall, I'll say anywhere from Slidell to down to New Orleans to Houma, Louisiana, probably have the best chance of seeing some heavier rainfall totals. Even up here near the West Gulfport, over towards Mississippi, I wouldn't be surprised either for some heavier rainfall. But anywhere in this area, even down towards the Texas coast as well, don't forget about you guys. You could certainly see some flash flooding and some excessive rainfall. But that moderate risk lies just right here in this area from about Baton Rouge, Lafayette. All these areas down here have the highest risk of flash flooding. So going back now, I want to give you an overall look at what our Atlantic, because we actually have 5 areas of interest out there right now. Granted, none of those look significant at all, but there's 5 areas of interest. Looks like a lemon basket. I'll show you guys here in a second. Here we go. Let me just get this off. And we go over to the Atlantic. Yeah, guys, we have a lemon party out here today. You got 5 areas of interest out here. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a 6th, because you have another wave coming off the African coast, which looks quite healthy. Granted, most of this is very anemic. It'll all die out or fizzle out because we have troughs moving through the continental U.S. And what this is going to do is impart wind shear and dryer in all these systems, leading to these probably just fizzling out and not doing much. So now these 2 areas are the areas that we need to watch out for a potential tropical storm. As these 2 areas combine, and we may get a tropical storm out of that. I want to show you a few sneaky models that show that scenario, and then yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. But I just want to show you this little lemon party that's going on out here today. So giving you a full view, here's our look at the Atlantic, wide view of the Atlantic. And you're probably saying, well, whoa, where are the area interests? Well, guys, they're very anemic. There's hardly any precipitation, but any of these areas could get on a name if they develop. Granted, most of these probably fizzle out. The best area that probably would get a name in the next few days is I'll watch this area up in here between the Carolinas and Bermuda. This system is fairly healthy, and so this may take on a name for the National Hurricane Center. It may take a name. And then I'll also watch this area down here because convection's been blowing up over the last few hours as well. And if this combines with this area, we may also get a name out of that. So there's a couple areas that could give us a name. This is at I believe, a 20%, and then this is at a 30, and then this is at a 10. So, you know, not very high probabilities, but a chance nonetheless. Now, I'm going to erase this from your screen, and we're going to shift over to the Gulf Coast because I want to update you on this as well. Here's why we're getting so much rainfall here in on the Louisiana coast. You have a area of very disturbed weather right over here. Basically, an area of showers and thunderstorms, which is basically hitting the Louisiana coast and the far eastern, southeastern parts of the Texas coast. Now, what we're watching out for a tropical storm threat is, can we get that area up in here to combine with a system that's down here. Now, this area of disturbed weather is moving generally northwest. It'll move over the Yucatan Peninsula, and what this is going to do is move like something like this. This is generally pushing like this southward, and we're waiting to see, will these two areas basically connect, basically come together, combine, and form a system. If that happens, then we may be looking at a tropical storm threat for the Louisiana coast, which could just bring an added threat of even heavier rainfall and probably some gustier winds. So that'll be something to watch out for. Doesn't like a significant hurricane or anything, but there could certainly be a tropical storm, maybe even a tropical depression. We don't know yet, but there's a couple of sneaky models out there that are showing this system forming that have been generally consistent. So I wanted to update you guys on that. So we're going to go through some models today, and then as we go through the models, I'll give you my overall thoughts at the end of the video, as I always do, and then we'll get you guys out of here. So looking at the latest 12Z GFS now, you see the two areas right here. You see the low, and then you see this low. What we're waiting to see is if these two will combine and form a system. So we're going to go through time, and the GFS, it tries to do something right here with this system, but the GFS just isn't on board with a whole bunch of development, and it kind of just fizzles itself out. That is certainly still a possibility. Granted, other models are showing different scenarios. Now, here's an icon model, which has been a model showing development and been fairly consistent in showing development, and it still is. It's showing a tropical depression and then turning towards a tropical storm as it moves towards Louisiana. And that could bring a threat of some gustier winds, some heavier rainfall on top of the rainfall that you've already gotten from the stalled stationary front and in this area of disturbed weather that I just circled earlier for you guys. So the icon models is generally still showing development of this system. It's been quite consistent in showing development, and the icon model doesn't get a lot of recognition for its because it's a pretty good model, but sometimes it can be consistent and consistently wrong, but it's been consistent, so it'll be something to watch out for as well. Here we're looking at the Canadian model, and as we go through time, it too wants to develop the system, albeit much further south into Texas coast. But either way, guys, either way you slice it, whether this develops or it doesn't develop, that excessive rainfall risk that I just showed you guys back over here towards Lafayette and Houma, New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, West Gulfport, all you areas right here are generally still favorable for flash flooding, because it's not only this area of disturbed weather that's giving you guys heavy rainfall. You have a stationary front located somewhere up in here, I think, which is giving you guys some heavier rainfall as well. So you have a lot of lift And what lift does is it allows showers and thunderstorms to repeat and to form. And so probably dealing with a lot of training thunderstorms. So that, all that stuff is just giving you guys just heavier rain threat. So I don't want you to think that, oh, if we don't get a tropical storm the form, then our flash flooding threat is going to be lower. No, your flash flooding threat is there regardless of what happens with that. This is just an added threat for just even heavier rainfall on top of what you already gotten, with maybe an added threat of some gustier winds if you can get a storm to form. Now here's a Euro model OOZ from last night, and again, it's been off and on. It doesn't really form a system, but again, it keeps that heavier rain over the Louisiana coast. If you watch as I go through time, look at all that rain that just continues to pummel the Louisiana coast. So again, heavier rainfall is certainly a good bet for those areas, quite frankly. So regardless if we get a tropical storm to form or not, again, heavier rain is certainly going to be the biggest threat. Now look at a Euro AI model, and this model, it's been generally consistent. This model, the Icon model, and then there's another short range model that I forgot to bring up. I'll actually take the time out to show you guys that as well. But this model 2 shows a storm developing, and then it brings into the Louisiana coast as a pretty strong tropical storm. So that'll be something to watch out for. Again, you want to watch out down here in Louisiana regardless, because flooding will be the highest threat. But you do have an outside chance that these two areas of disturbed weather combine, and then you get a system to form. Again, not, is it likely? I wouldn't say likely, but I would definitely say there's a distinct possibility that can happen. Now, I didn't bring it up for you guys, which I definitely should have, but I want to show you a model that's been showing the threat for this system being being towards that 995 millibar, which just shows a tropical storm. This model, the HRRR model, been somewhat consistent in showing a potential for a tropical system. Please bear with me, guys, because I forgot to bring this up before the video started, so I want to show you guys this. Here we go. We're going to drop down here. Forecast loop. Alright, guys. Sorry for that wait. So, giving you guys this. Okay. So, this model has been fairly consistent in showing a potential low pressure to form into a tropical storm. So, we're going through time, and I want you to watch this model. And this model, it gets pretty aggressive. It shows a tropical system forming. It gets all the way down to about 1,003 millibars, which is heading down towards tropical depression. Now, I haven't seen this model run yet, so I'm looking at these guys as you are too. I will say earlier runs were definitely showing an even stronger system off the HRRR. So this is a short range model as well, which you don't typically want to use short range models for tropical forecasting, but HRRR generally does a somewhat good job forecasting tropical systems, especially when they're this close in the time frame. So this model also shows a distinct possibility that we could get a tropical depression or a storm to form around here in the Gulf, going up towards the Louisiana coast, pummeling you guys with even more rainfall than you're already getting. So, again, overall, guys, down here in Louisiana, regardless of what happens over the next few days with that system, heavy rain will be the biggest threat. Again, you're already seeing some rainfall out there, and as you continue to go in time, you're going to continue to see rainfall. So all that will bring a pretty decent flooding threat. And again, here's another look at the National Hurricane Center with tropical weather outlook. And guys, my overall thoughts are the tropics remain very anemic, but if you're along the Louisiana coast, you want to watch out for these two areas. Maybe you can get a forming depression or a storm. Again, it doesn't really matter. Either way, heavy rainfall is going to be the biggest threat. I can see you guys getting pummeled with about anywhere between about 5 to 7 inches of rainfall, isolated locally higher amounts in these areas. bring you guys. So again, you'll want to watch out for that, for some heavier rainfall. Certainly, you're down here near Slidell, New Orleans, and Houma. You guys certainly have the highest threat, and even towards West Gulfport, Mississippi, all you guys have a certainly have a very high chance of seeing rainfall. You're in a moderate risk for significant rainfall, so you guys are certainly uh, looking at a much higher threat for for significant rainfall in areas further north towards Alexandria and Jasper and in Texas. So again, the highest threat will be heavy rainfall in those areas. But overall, guys, that's all I really got for you guys today. Again, the tropics remain anemic. I will say there's a couple of favorable solutions showing up in the models. Albeit though, this year has been a dud, and I'm not really seeing anything in the long range that looks like it'll wake up anytime soon. But again, a couple of these lemons may actually develop into a named storm. But I'm gonna talk you guys head off today, as looks like I already did. But you guys stay safe. You're in a huge flooding risk, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow.